What's up YouTube? Houston here. Now, if you're an individual that has bad credit, 580 or below, or you don't have any credit at all, and you're trying to be able to position yourself to be able to take advantage of the real estate bubble popping, or you're trying to position yourself to be able to buy more cars to put onto Turo or Fair, to where you can transition from your job to operating your business full time, then this video is for you, because I'm actually going to show you how to boost up your credit score 100 points, and we're going to use low-hanging fruit credit cards. Now, the thing about it, you may say, well, why are we going to use low-hanging fruit credit cards? Well, here's the situation. For every negative item, I've told you in other videos, for every negative item you have, you need to add at least 2 to 3 positive trade lines to make up for that one negative item, right? Now, another thing, so that we can get this out of the way, to give you a faster boost on the credit score as well, if you have open revolving accounts, okay, you want to pay those revolving accounts, if possible, pay them down to 10% or all the way off. Do not close the account, but you want to get it under 10%, all right? Now, the reason you want to do that, because it's going to have a bigger impact on your credit score. What I was saying about the low-hanging fruit, the credit cards that you want to go after, because they are low-hanging fruit, especially if you messed up your relationship with banks. If you already messed up your relationship with banks and you know that they're not going to give you a credit card, they're not going to look to try to help you boost up your credit score, these are the institutions you want to turn to. All right, so the first institution you want to turn to is the Patel One card. Okay, so the Patel One card, they're not tripping off they're not tripping off the credit score. All right, they're more or less factoring in how long you've been on your job, how long you've been at your place of residence, what's your education level like. Okay, so they're looking at, do you actually have the ability to get this card? All right, so they're not tripping off of the credit score. So that's the reason they will give you, if you never had a credit card before, you don't have a credit score, that's the reason the Patel One will more likely be approved for you. Now, here's the interesting thing about it. It only goes from 300 up to 5,000. Now, some of you all may be wondering, like, hey, why would I want a low limit credit card? Again, there's method to the madness. All right, now, here's another credit card you want to check out, and you want to get this one. It's called the Credit AI. Again, this is a credit card, primary credit card. That's another thing. If you're able to get credit cards where you don't have to take money out of your pocket to secure those credit cards, those are the ones you want. And so Credit AI is one of those credit cards you want to get, okay? They look at just making sure you have regular bank deposits, and they start you out with a $1,500 line of credit. Then you want to hop over to the OppFi credit card. Now the OppFi credit card, it starts at $1,000. Then after 6 months, it turns over to $2,000. Now you have to be on time with your payments for these accounts, but like I said, you're trying to understand, why are these credit cards limits so low? Well, again, we want to have the biggest impact on your credit score to boost up your credit score. All right, now here's something else you're going to do before I really break everything down, and it's going to make sense once I break everything down. Also, for many of you, you're still not taking advantage of having your rent reported on your credit file. Okay, there's plenty of companies out there, but you want to make sure you're getting a company that reports to all 3 credit bureaus. Now, where I was talking about getting into the real estate game, getting into the real estate investing game, here's where things are starting to change. Okay, FHA, they're starting to take serious look at using the Vantage score. So if they usually use your FICO 2, 3, or 5 mortgage score to get you qualified for a mortgage. Okay, well, again, FICO updates later than Vantage, right? Not only that, you have a bigger impact if you use your Vantage score, okay? Because, and I explained this in another video, because their data points are different than with FICO. Even though FICO and Vantage give you the same score, they give you different data points. That's the reason when you pull your Credit Karma, and you may see that your credit score is like 50 to 80 points higher, it's because of the data points that they're sharing. All right, and it's crazy because your major banks, although they do not use Vantage score, here's the crazy part, they don't use Vantage score. American Express, Chase, Bank of America, those banks do not use a Vantage score, but they give you a Vantage score. They use FICO 8 bank card score. So when you on you're on Credit Karma and Credit Karma says, oh, you have a 680 credit score, and FICO says, well, you only have a 5-something credit score, now you have that discrepancy, but Credit Karma is telling you that you've been pre-approved when those data points aren't the same. All right, so I just wanted to throw that in there. But coming back to what I was talking about, these credit cards and why they're important, as well as adding on the rent and the utilities. Okay, with FHA, they're starting to look at Vantage score. So if they start calculating a Vantage score instead of a FICO score, more people will qualify for a mortgage. Now, if you're trying to get into the real estate game, for what's on the investing side of it, then you want to look at like HUD housing. They have the HUD dollar loan housing and stuff for real estate investing and stuff like that. So that's the reason you want to have more of an impact of positive accounts on your credit file than the negative accounts. Now, here's something else. Let's talk about Navy Federal, okay? And why, if you could, you want to join Navy Federal. And then if you can't join Navy Federal, who else can you turn to? All right, so we're going to answer those two questions. Well, first of all, with Navy Federal, as I made in other videos talking about you can have a 500 and Navy Federal giving you a $25,000 line of credit or a credit card, right? The reason is because of the internal score, which I explained, which goes from 100 to 450. Now, to build up that, you would have to have, and these are some accounts I would definitely suggest that you have anyway to build a stronger relationship. With Navy Federal, if you have bad credit and you're joining them, then you want the N rewards card, because you can use $200 and after 6 months it turns to $2,000, right? Now also they have their pledge loans. All right, now the reason that you want a pledge loan or a loan, secured loan or unsecured loan, because it helps balance out the credit file. All right, so that's so important. But in reference to building up the internal score with Navy Federal, you definitely want to focus on a N rewards card. If you have a low credit score, pledge loan. Now, some people say, well, how many pledge loans? I wouldn't overdo it. The maximum amount I would probably do is maybe 2 pledge loans, and I'm going to tell you why in a separate video to give you more leverage to get access to their other loans. But at the same time, by you having an N rewards card, a pledge loan, if you're able to do direct deposit, would be great. Okay, but you definitely want to make sure you have the flagship checking account as well as the savings account. Now, your checking account and savings account, you definitely want to make sure that you're depositing at least $25 or more weekly into those accounts for more activity. All right, now here's the interesting thing about it with Navy Federal. If you just join Navy Federal and you open up all of these accounts at one time, they may already just jump past the secured card with N rewards and give you the regular green rewards credit card. Okay, so that has happened plenty of times where people open multiple accounts and they say, hey, do you want a credit card? Well, because they figure that, hey, I got a 580 credit score, I won't qualify. They said, well, let us try. And they end up getting an unsecured credit card. All right. So that's the reason you want these multiples accounts. Now, if you can't join Navy Federal, who do you go to? Well, you would want to go to Andrews Federal Credit Union. Okay, so they're nationwide as well, for us, in terms of allowing anybody to open up an account. And you can open up an account with the Consumer Council, American Consumer Council. Please excuse me if anybody know what I'm talking about. Put a comment below.